to have that reception line.
Yeah.
I mean, greet people on the way in.
afternoon. I've been running so fast, I thought it was still morning. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming to help the family celebrate this very, very special occasion. We have with us today Lyman and Adeline and a bunch of relatives and friends, and we want to take some time in our lives to show our thankfulness for all this. So with that, if I may introduce the new couple 50 years later, Lyman and Adeline Lorentzen. Please come and take a seat and let's see what we can do. Please be seated. Thank you very much. You're too kind. We all know they don't deserve it, but you're too kind. Well, it was 1968 when I graduated from high school, and that does sound now like an eternity ago. But that's also when Lyman and Adeline decided to try a different life in a different town. So, you know, it's amazing for me the roots that one develops when one grows up. You know, you live in a town all your life. You move, you come back. And I'm going to get emotional. And I'm just like Lyman. I didn't get any of his good traits if he had some. But it is home to us who lived here. And we thank you for that. So, introductions. I need to introduce first of all the wedding party. The wedding party, thank you for coming. They're sitting in the front row here. We have Else and Dolores, and I think we should stand and face some of those who don't. Else and Dolores, that's Else, Lyman's brother, and his wife Dolores, from Hutchinson yet, I believe. You're traveling a little now, but Hutchinson. Thanks for coming, Else. Next we have Dolly. And Dolly, some of you may still recognize. Thank you, Dolly. And Doris and Glenn, if you both would rise. Glenn, I know you'd rather probably sit, but you don't take any. And the big sister, in some respects, Margaret. And there are two others that were in the wedding party. They are with us, I'm sure, today in spirit. That would be Rayburn and Bud. Clap for them too. Yeah, this is supposed to be fun. Well, children, I am Steve, the eldest. My wife Caroline, if you would stand, please, so they see who you are. My eldest daughter, Sarah. And my baby, Amy. Our middle son, Jason, just got a job in Minneapolis, and he apologizes that he was unable to get away from work, but Jason is here in spirit also. Susan was next in the totem pole. Susan and her husband Butch. They have Jill here today, their daughter Jilly. And their son just got married this summer, and he's training to be a jet pilot for the Marine Corps down in Texas, and he is unable to be here also. And we have Lori. Oh, excuse me, Lee Bob. Everybody wants to see what Lee looks like. Thank you, Lee. And we have Linda with Lee and their three kids. Destiny, Harmony, and Justine. They've got a couple of twins, and they're having lots of fun. Lee's getting payback. And also, there's two others that aren't here, and that would be Gabe and Cassie. So, large family. And Lori Bob. Lori and Archie, if you would stand. And then we have JP and Lindsay also. Now, did I forget anybody in our immediate family? Okay, I'm just going with this, people. I have no idea where I'm going to, but I am going somewhere. We also should introduce some other immediate family members of Lyman and Adeline who aren't in the wedding party. We also have, I think, Avery and Twyla here. Avery would be Lyman or Adeline's brother. Avery, are you here? We might as well have you stand. Avery and Twyla, thank you. And on Dad's side, we have Janice. Janice, you're going to have to stand up so people see who you are. There's Janice, sister of Lyman. And we have Keith and Becky. No, Keith and Karen. I knew that, but I'm struggling. And we have Weston and Becky right behind them. Well, thanks for that. There wasn't much of a stand, Becky. But I guess we'll accept it. Okay. And Herbert's girls are also here. What? And Joni. Herbert's girls, we have Faye. Faye is here. Right in the back. Inez and Brenda, you might as well stand also. And Joni. Come on, Joni. Isn't Joan's hair wonderful? Never hair out of place. We are so special. I know, you'll get me later. Well, it's a pleasure to be here on a day with weather like we have today. 50 years ago, on August 24th, 1949, which is the day, D-Day, that didn't sound right, D-Day. It was a very hot and steamy day at Bethel Baptist, I'm told. I wasn't very old at the time, but I'm told it was. Just kidding now. They were married by two Baptists, if you didn't know this, and many of us I'm sure don't, or I didn't until I got these notes. The Husteds, Pastor Husted was assisted by brother-in-law Earl Grubb. So I guess both of them did cemented somehow, I suspect. And that's because one of you is Jewish, or what was it? Well, I don't know. This is the first. Don't push your luck. Okay. Shortly after the wedding ceremony, for their honeymoon, they took off in their 1939 Studebaker, and everything was fine until they started getting down the road, and then a little aroma started showing up, and I guess one of their best friends had put some Limburger cheese on the engine block. So that had to have been a special starting point in their marriage. I think that would either cement you or drive you apart forever. In that Studebaker, they went on the first night to the brand new Clarence Parker Hotel, where Dad, spendthrift as he is, blew $5 for the night. He wasn't fussy, he was married. He lived cheaply now. Okay. So they stayed in Minot, then he went to Detroit Lakes. They stopped in Fargo, then to Detroit Lakes to an uncle and aunt's resort. Then went on to Minneapolis. Then they took the Hiawatha train. Now, I suspect some of you know what that is. Is that some special train, the Hiawatha train? Must be just a passenger train called the Hiawatha. I'm quick. I'm in education. I can understand this stuff. Then they went to Chicago to visit relatives, and then back home in about 2 weeks and moved into their first home, which they rented from Alvin Hovey for another big spending activity, $35 a month. And that was the beginning. And we are 50 years later, and lots of water has passed under the bridge, as we all know. Some stress too, and some fun times, and we hope to cover some of that. There's no way, I don't think, that we can encapsulate a 50-year marriage in a short program, and I hope this is relatively short, as I'm sure you are hoping also. But 50 years is a long time, and not many last this long. Thank you for being who you are. Well, I hope the rest of my siblings do better. Yeah, well, we'll find out now. Next on the agenda with that little brief intro is going to be the big sister, Susie, the one who takes care of everybody in the family. Susie, you're on for the poem that you have prepared. And if I am told correctly, she has done this poem herself. So if it's bad, blame her. Good luck, Susie. If you can see over that.
I need a stool. I don't sing and I don't speak, but I'm going to read a poem. And I thought the first one I would do, just to go back, was the one from the 25th anniversary. So I'm going to read that first, and then we'll go on to the next. Further back than I can remember, my mom and dad were joined together. They were young and so in love, and on this day 25 years ago, received God's blessing from above. Dad worked hard at the coast-to-coast store, while Mom stayed home and lovingly scrubbed the floor. For one whole year, the honeymoon was bliss, and each day always ended with a kiss. Their first anniversary rolled around, and 2 months later, a new member was found. Little Stevie was their first child, and heaps of love upon him they piled. But lo and behold, in '53, Stevie was joined by little sister me. We were now a happy family of 4. You may think this is the end, but no, there is more. How can one describe the arrival of Lee? He wasn't the quiet one in our family. He kept Mom running day and night, and for a little guy, he sure could fight. 1956 was another big year. Back to the hospital, Mom did disappear, but soon returned with our new little sister. Lori was pink and wrinkled, but we all still kissed her. Powers Lake was where our childhood was spent, but in '68, our house was put up for rent. Our first big move to Great Falls was made. For me, it was traumatic in how I behaved, as you may well remember. And this is from the 25th. So happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. Today is a day to laugh and be glad. For you have done what so many have failed to do, to live together for 25 years and to say, I love you. And that was 25 years ago. So, on to the next generation. We celebrated the 25th in 1974. At that time, we 4 kids and spouses made up the core. 25 years later, the number has grown. We've added 12 grandchildren to call your own. Cassie has added 2 darling boys. Josh is a Marine and just wed Sarah, to our joy. Sarah Marie is our nurse-to-be. Gabe and Jamie are serving their country in Germany. Jason, a good-looking computer man, has moved to the city. Jilly, or Precious, is a senior at UND, and her students will get little pity. Jay Pizek is Davis, a history man who can sing. Lindsay's headed to Grand Forks. The freshman bell is about to ring. Amy Rochelle, a joy to us all, a senior at Oak Grove. She was the baby for years. Justine Liberty, a grown-up at 9, she helps calm her younger sister's fears. Our Starflight babies arrived unexpected. Harmony is fearless, just like her dad. Destiny and Angel has never been bad. 50 years in the making, our own family tree. I knew I would get to the end, and then such a legacy of love that will live on until eternity.
One and only, are you ready? Next up, we're going to call upon Lee to try a song after Susie's weeping here. I'm so glad I'm not alone. You have everything you need?
Tears right on family. I used to pride myself on not crying.
And at what point in your life was that?
God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Jesus loves me, yes I know. For the Bible tells me so. Little ones, to them belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones, to him belong. We are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves us. Yes, Jesus loves us. Yes, Jesus loves us. The Bible tells me so.
Okay, Lori? You're on.
Since I'm the least loopy of the whole family, I'm saying me for last. I love it. They just wanted me to read a Bible verse, and it's one that reminds me of Mom Death. Hey, Archie, it's loud. You can do it. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is patient and kind. It is not jealous or conceited or proud. Love is not ill-mannered or selfish or irritable. Love does not keep a record of wrongs. Love is not happy with evil, but is happy with the truth. Love never gives up, and its faith, hope, and patience never fail. Love is eternal. Happy anniversary.
Well, I'm impressed, Lori. We were thinking you were going to be the weepy one. Everybody else broke down. Next on my unprinted program here would be the grandchildren for a little song. That would be girls. And I think they've organized something for some of the grandchildren or whoever they organized.
glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay, from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay, from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high.
Thank you, kids. We go pause for a little verbal remembrance here about Lyman and Adeline and their life, and highlight some of the favorite memories, life-changing events, and those types of activities. Going way back, it's always been very important to have singing. They sang early on, starting with the early days of the Prairie Lighthouse program, recording each week, I believe, was broadcast on a Minot radio station. Adeline sang in a trio for however many years with Joanne and Eva Jean. And Lyman was usually active in some men's quartet, and I know he sang with Ted Gibson and Lloyd Inget, Pastor Houston, and later with Erling Gleesa, if I'm not mistaken. And they even found time on occasion to sing a duet or two, and we certainly know that they could sing in the car as we traveled on many vacations, and no, the children could not harmonize with them. They certainly did sound good in the front seat, at least when the big arm wasn't coming back to straighten out the activity that was going on back there. And of course, not too many months after their marriage, beginning in 1950, as Susie alluded to, I came along, and from 50 to 56, I believe, they had 4 children, mostly just about 2 years apart each. And Susie, I didn't know they had family planning back then, but they must have had some education to plan accordingly. I never would have thought Lyman could have figured it out, but maybe Adeline was a good teacher, I don't know. But we won't go there. And of course, in the Baptist Church, of course in the Baptist Church. In the early years, Lyman worked long and hard at the store, and Adeline worked long and hard with her 4 kids. And there certainly wasn't any lack of work in those days. But they did, both of them, value always their vacations with their families, and especially for Mom, any opportunity she had to go sleep in a tent and commune with the bugs of this world. It was a high point in her life. Of course, the big trip that we all remember as a family is the trip to Toronto. That was one of the largest trips we ever took as a family. We took several vacations as we were growing up, but the big one up to the World's Fair in Toronto was quite remarkable. The Harrisons probably remember some of those activities that went on that trip. The Harrisons followed the Lorentzens, 2 North Dakota cars pulling pop-up trailers. I think we both had a pop-up trailer, if my memory serves me correct. And we went through the big cities and I remember once we got lost in downtown Boston, I think it was, and if that wasn't the scariest thing I'd ever experienced in my life. I mean, I do not remember what I said. If you didn't hear that, apparently I had said during that point, I hope Dad does not have a heart attack and Mom has to drive us out of here. But it must have been a blessed trip because we made it safely, and the big event was getting separated from the Arisons. Arisons went one way and Lorenzens went another, and it was like, okay, now what do we do? There's no way they're going to backtrack and find anybody, but believe it or not, they found each other at a campground, and I don't think there were advanced reservations. You just found each other. I suspect the way they found Arisons was, the Arisons were, Glenn was never big on modern efficiency items, and Glenn's bonfire was probably so I don't know if you know Glenn real well, but he'd rather camp and light a fire than have a camp stove. When you're camping, you get some wood and you cook over that stove. It was fun, and the kids, it was just a great experience at that point in their lives. Also, and I don't remember this, but they like to travel to Denver to see Herb's family always, of course, and one of their trips they did take Adeline's mom and dad with, and they had a little Studebaker, and they took the family and Nels and Marion, and I blocked that out, and I suspect that's because if you had a little Studebaker and 8 people in there, it could not have been fun. And I think, if my geography is correct, Denver is still a fair hike with 8 people in a little Studebaker. And then, of course, in 1968, they sold the store and moved to Great Falls, and Lyman got a job with Value Mart, and Adeline actually applied for a job. I mean, at that point, how old were you when you moved, Mom? Okay, I'm putting you on the spot. I don't remember. 68, I was 18, you were 19, 37. Okay, see, am I quick or what? So 37 years old, she never applied for a job in her entire life, and that, is quite amazing when you think about it. When she went out to the big city, no. You never applied for a job. You didn't have a choice there. I'm talking applying for a job. Okay. But Mom applied for a job, and she got a job at Ward's as a retail clerk, and she worked there for 24 years, retiring from Ward's in 92. 1? Whatever. Doesn't matter. We don't care. You're retired. Also, big events in their lives were always, of course, the Rook games and the horseshoe. If you remember, or if you ever around the Lorentzen house, in those days they had a horseshoe rink out back. And those horseshoes would clank until 2, 3, 4 in the morning. It was the most unbelievable. I don't know what was with those men. They didn't sleep or they didn't like their wives at that time. I'm not sure what it was. Whatever it was, they worked it out in 50 years and they were doing fine. But you had guys like Ted and Rayburn and Clarence Brending, and I wrote some other notes in my own handwriting, so of course I can't read it. Harold Jurgensen, of course, and Evan Agate, and Henry Johnson, and numerous people were over there playing horseshoe. And Rook, I think, is the secret to a long and happy marriage. At least if you're from Powerslade. But I do say that with a little twist. Mother did play Rook with Lyman once. And that's it. And that's the truth. I'm not even making that up. Once. And she said, this isn't going to work, and she never played Rook with him again, and they still haven't played Rook as a couple. That's why they're still married. Anyway, Value Mart got sold, so Dad had to go looking for work again, and he went to work for Pitney Bowes, and he did retire from Pitney Bowes. He drove on the road selling postage meters and copiers and those types of things for a number of years, and he did retire from them. Another big event for us was that 40th wedding anniversary. Lyman and Adeline took us to Kalispell, and we had the family out there. It was a wonderful time. Oh, I suppose in 5 minutes I'll get it back together here. Anyway, and after that, we of course went through the cancer scare. Dad had some cancer, and that was a battle for a number of years, it seemed. And he's been doing fine since. He's fatter and sassier than he ever was, so I guess he's worked his way through that. And I'm not understating the sassier portion of life. And now, it's 50 years, but the common thread, I guess, in all that little wandering and rambling is, okay, time out. I was told this was going to be fun. I can hear Butty. I say that because I watched Ted and Dolly's 50th the other day, and I was watching Butty, so Butty knows exactly what I'm going through. Yeah, sit back there and cackle, Butty. But anyway, the common thread has always been family, both immediate and the relatives and friends, and of course the church and singing. And it continues. Whew. I should make it from here because now my big stuff is over. I'll just introduce Lee. Do your kids have anything ready to go? If they do, they could come up and have a little song. Lee and his little girls, Destiny, Harmony, and Justine. Come on up, girls. Thank you.
We sang this church here about a month ago back in Texas, and the girls wanted to sing it. I said, well, Daddy's going to sing first, and then the next time that we sing, you guys can go ahead and sing with me. So.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We know less days to sing God's praise than when we first believed.
Thank you very much, girls. Next would be JP. Are you ready, JP? You're up. I guess. Okay.
I have to have a crib sheet for this. I've never played it before. Sorry. Yeah. You can do that.
find a way through this great world of heartache and pain. Eyes are brown and locks of gold. Her flower dress is tattered and soiled. Tear-stained cheeks, her feet cold and bare. Who could let a child so rare? Rosemary, your day will come. He loved you so, he gave his only son. Keep your faith in his soul. Stay down on your knees. I'm begging you, please. Hold on to the beads at your heart. Burning heart and tired eyes, howling wind for lullabies. No one there to soothe the fright, nowhere to turn but the inward light. 'Cause life is for believing that your heart will turn to gold. All you need is Christ to receive it. There's eternal life in every soul. Rosemary, your day will come. He loved you so, he gave his only son. Keep your faith in your soul. Stay down on your knees. I'm begging you, please. Hold on to the beads at your heart.
Thank you, JP. Well, we're at the part of the program where it's your chance to get even. I guess I'd like to open up the floor if there's any comment, good, bad, or indifferent, or memory that somebody would like to share about Lyman and or Adeline and or both of them, or not, that's fine also. We have a volunteer. You can come on up. Or we're going to do this any way you want to do it. Uh-oh.
Tears. As you know, Adeline and I were in high school together. Now, she was either a year older or a year younger. I can't really remember that. I guess it doesn't matter. But we were cheerleaders together. And at that time, it was very improper to jump and holler too much, so we'd go, yay, Ranchers, yay, Ranchers. Pretty dull. And it's a wonder that we ever won any ball games. Which gets me to seeing Ellsworth here. Ellsworth was a classmate of mine. And we went to the, I think it was, if I have the year right, I think we went to the county tournament. And we were seniors. It was Bob Van Berkom, Darwin Anderson, Ellsworth, Mib Redding, Merle Johnson. And we beat the Columbus Cougars for the championship. And the Columbus girls were crying. It was quite a night. Now to get back to the story I have of Adeline Lyman. When Steve was still in high school, I remember his dad had the store. And I came in the store one day and Adeline was showing me this card that she'd gotten from Lyman. And I don't know if it was her birthday or if it was an anniversary card. But it was a beautiful card. And the tears rolled down Adeline's cheeks as she read it. And Steve said, "Gee, Mom, Dad gave me $1 and I went and bought the card."
How did it last? Well, we all know Adeline was a part of it. That's what it is. Any others who'd like to say anything else or a memory to share? Come on down, so to speak. Uh-oh. Are you going to handle this okay? Are you going to bring support, or come on? Welcome, girls.
Oh gosh. I wouldn't have missed this day for the world. You know, we were only up here less than a month every year. And I tell friends of mine that get divorces and they think they're going to lose touch with their kids that I am the example that you never lose touch. And had it not been for our dad bringing us up here, we would not have been a part of this wonderful place and these wonderful people. And I thank you for the wonderful memories that we have. I want to think of just a couple of them. I'll let you do the sorry thing. But, you know, the last time I got to go skiing was then. 6 years ago? Yes. Oh, 6 years old? Surely not. Gosh. 6 years? I wouldn't remember what that was. Oh, that was the last time I got to go skiing. Those were wonderful. And remember, coast to coast? Lori, I'm sorry. I got to play the typewriter. Dad never let me do that. Barbie games, Lori. Wonderful memories. Liba. I don't know where we went. I think when I was in trouble, it's because I was with you. I don't know. I was much safer with Lori. And Susie, she was taking care of us back then too. And poor Steve, all I can remember was he had to work all the time. You know, Dad, I'm so sorry for poor Steve. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say.
I don't feel very sorry for Steve. He used to pick on me a lot, so, you know. But now things are awesome. I just want to thank you for having us part of the family, bringing us in, taking us in. It was wonderful. Susie, we used to say, now I lay me down to sleep every night before we went to sleep. You know, we have just memories that no one can ever take from us. We love you.
Speaking of the music, you know, of course we were in trouble when we went back home because Mom, you know, made sure we went to the Catholic Church, and of course we didn't. That was the only thing we did wrong. But, you know, we got home and, you know, how did Mom, I mean, we started singing Jesus Loves Me and stuff. She knew they weren't teaching that at the Catholic Church. But this morning we were sitting a couple rows behind Lyman and Adeline, and I told Joni and Pay, I said, let's go sit in front of Adeline and Lyman so we could listen to them sing. I think they thought we were kidding, but we weren't. But
music to our ears. You guys should have gotten up and sang the song.
Thank you, girls. Yeah, I know you're right, I did pick on you, and I do recall once getting you so mad you started after me, and I found some mud chunks, and I was throwing them at you as hard as you could, and you're like a bull. You didn't flinch, you hit me. I would hit you with those mud chunks, and you didn't even flinch. You were going to hit me, and that was it. I have never seen that in a woman, and I don't want to again. I've been close a few times, apparently, remember? Okay, I went overboard. I love you here. Any others who would like to share a thought or a memory? Oh, Harold, come on up.
Well, I tell you, it gives me great pleasure to wish this wonderful couple a happy 50th anniversary. They've just been super good friends of ours through the years, and we've shared many good times together. And I hope the good Lord just lets us live on longer so we can share some more times together. He did provide in the respect that he got moved down to Fargo, and half of our family's down in Fargo, so we can kind of correlate and get together every once in a while there. I was just kind of thinking back a little bit. I wrote down some notes, but I couldn't read them sitting in the seat, so I don't know why I brought them up. Anyway, when you guys were first married, living in that house, I remember you hired me, who said you might have been, to remodel your kitchen for you, and it was a great time there. I kind of worried about Adeline a little bit at the time because Lyman was quite a trader, you know, and she'd get a new furniture, and the next day I come there and she was looking for it. You know, Lyman had sold it to somebody else. I couldn't keep up with it at all. and Lyman, you know, he was just trading cars like crazy. I think about 3 cars 1 year there. I ain't worried about Lyman or Adeline, but he kept the sweet Adeline though. These 50 years. He didn't trade her off, and he had something great. Anyway, we had some good times. We trailed the car out to California, to Myrtle's and their family. And then after that, we got the car disposed of, and we went for a little drive through California. Some innocent old Norwegians were going to see what the rest of the world looked like, I guess, you know, and what they lived like. And we went to Harris Club in Tahoe, if I recall. And somehow or the other, I lost my limit at the slot machines that night right away. So I was ready to go, but Lyman had won enough so he could keep going till about 3 o'clock in the morning. To do, we weren't going to drink. Lyman ordered 4 Jersey highballs for us. What? The waitress says, what's that?
Can I explain what it is?
Pardon?
Can I explain what it is?
4 glasses of milk. And we went on further down into California. Farmers Market was that the place we went to? And looked around LA. And then we had a tour for the Hollywood stars in their homes. And that was quite interesting. The bus driver, though, talked us into a tour in the evening of seeing some of the other places. And we weakened to it. And the first place we went to was the Roaring Twenties, if I remember right. And the Roaring Twenties was just a good old-fashioned Western country show. Really good music and good singing and everything. Well, then the next one was the Gay 90s. Better walk away from the pulpit. It wasn't really that bad, but these gals came, they were upstairs, they came down a pole, you know, and landed on the bar, and they were dancing for us. We're really getting educated all today. Of course, Lyman had that charm, you know. She was Jane Mansfield or chart and type, you know, and you have lights on. I'm sitting behind mine and puts it on. I think she was going to whisper something in his ear. I don't know yet if they have Lyman as partials or something dropped down. He just lost it. I would give anything to have a video of this. Things kept getting worse, and we went to another one that this bus driver had on this special tour. But that one was too much for these things. We got up and walked out. Not a clean show at all. We got up and walked out. In all due respect, what we saw at the gay 90s is pretty mild compared to what we see daily on television today. That's for sure. So, anyway, we had a real good time. I got some journals here. I lost it. I don't think I'll tell them. But anyway, we've had some great times together. We went to Minnesota together a couple times and traveled other places and visited them out in Montana. Just had some super great times there. Just a wonderful couple. And I just feel so strongly in my heart that the good Lord found something special in Lyman and blessed him with a good healing that hasn't happened to many people. And I'm just so thankful for it. And ask God's richest blessing on him.
Well, thank you very much, Harold. We'll have to have coffee together. Some of that did not really correlate with the strong messages I was getting growing up in the Baptist church. So there is another side, okay. Well, anyway, any others wanting to come? Russell, come on up. Oops, you're gonna fight for it. Must be together, okay.
Well, I can't top that, that's for sure. And besides, I don't think I have so many funny stories to tell. We spent a lot of time together as families, and it was great. I remember I was asking Lene if she remembered the time that you made a birthday cake for her and invited all the neighbor kids in for her birthday. I don't know if it was exactly on her birthday, but was sometime. So Adeline was kind of a second mama to my kids, and we just had great times with them. I remember way back when a friend of mine and we would double date, and I was always grateful that Lyman had a car, and we had a good time. See if I can think of anything else. Well, I remember one time when I think we had gone to Cooley for Ivadel's wedding. And after the wedding, we decided to go up to Regina. That's crazy. When I was young, I was about this wide, but we all wore girdles. But it got too much even for me. So on the way up there, we stopped at a depot, and I took my girdle off. Oh yeah, there were good times, such good times. And I too am so happy to congratulate you and wish you many more anniversaries. Thanks.
day. I don't go back as far with a lot of people in here with them as you do. I only have about 40 years experience. That's when I came into the Hovey family. But they've been our very good friends for years. First off, when we were teaching in Columbus, we practically lived down here, so I spent a lot of hours at that coast-to-coast store. And then we were further privileged when we moved to Great Falls, where we lived. We made some of those flying trips to Minneapolis with Bonnie and Harold and Adeline and Lyman. We were on those trips too. Did a little fishing and hunting with them and so forth. Probably one of the things that really stands out in my mind though is shortly after we were married, you decided to take a little trip and we stayed with the kids. And Lee-Bum was how old? Arvis, what was he, 3? About 3 years old. And this building was just under construction because we lost Lee one day and we're looking all over the place and found him walking a steel beam overhead. And Lee, you also got Arvis's driver's license somehow or another. I never did figure that one out. I guess she gave you her purse to play with in church that day. But, we had a great time looking after the kids, and they were looking after us. But at any rate, we've really enjoyed the friendship with you throughout the years here at Great Falls, visiting you in Fargo, and we wish you many more. So thanks for us being able to be here.
Are there any others?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to go back close to 80 years ago.
Okay, 80 years ago.
Someone needs to have a little sense around here.
You still have enough volume to carry the...
Oh yes, don't
Okay.
worry about that. Well, anyway, Lyman has been asking me questions about his mother. I used to be Lyman's babysitter. I can't remember him being mean or anything. I used to go over to Lemuel's in the daytime. My mother offered my services. It wasn't that I was getting a babysitting job. Mother just thought Marie needed help, so they had a big garden, we were shelling peas, and she had the boiler on, and we were filling sealers with peas. We hadn't heard about this poisoning you could die from in a hurry from home canned foods, but we were making this, and I got great pay. When evening came and we were through for the day, I could sit down and play the player piano. I played that player piano and I felt so well paid, I thought I had the whole world by the tail. Well, anyway, going on to tell about Lyman's and Ellsworth's mother, I remember her very well because my two brothers, both Tom and Alvin, worked at times for Mr. Skretzovic. And of course Marie was there working. She was younger and was staying with my...
More? I was hoping somebody else would speak because Lyman's going to be coming up here pretty soon, and I think that one kind of got to us. So. Nathan.
Steve, you're doing a fine job.
Thank you.
You touched a lot of lives, you enriched a lot of people's lives. On behalf of the Gibson family, most of the time it was me that did it. Growing up as kids, we did living so close together, and all the memories that I share with Lyman taking us out, water skiing in the boat, having so much fun. Steve's writing out the memories, Powers Lake's always fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Lyman, I think time is running out, and it's time for...
over here.
I just want to,
Oh, Denny.
Yeah.
Okay.
from the Grubb family.
From the Grubb family, it shows. Thank you.
I want to thank Adeline and Lyman too for all the boat rides and all the things that we did way back when I was a youngster, and I guess I'd have to be like Lefty if there was something that was kind of haywire. I was part of it. Love you both very much. Happy anniversary.
Terry?
No, I'd like to just comment the effect that they had on our lives as young people growing up in the church when Lyman and Lloyd and that group were singing, I know it kind of led to Dula and John Riley and Greg and I sang in the quartet. We were the young quartet, and they were the old one. I sure appreciate the experiences that I had singing in the choir with these guys, and I know if you wanted to replay any of the basketball games from 59 or 60, all you do is stop to Coast next day and you find out exactly what I wish there were many more, and I'm sorry they left Montana because Adeline was our Great Falls connection. We didn't see Lyman very often, but we could always find Luger Adeline.
You are right, though. He was a great coach, wasn't he?
Maybe it was what the referees did wrong.
Oh, I thought it was the coach. I sat many a night at the table saying, I don't know why the coach did that, Dad. I know he can't coach. What else can I say? He's not here today, is he? No. Okay. Anybody else with a few comments before we move on? You ready, Dad? Oh, Jan, okay. Oh, okay. Yes, Jan, when you speak, we listen.
Well, of course, I was 6 years old when Lyman got married and Adeline got married, so, you know, I was just a little girl and I didn't know Lyman too well, but I knew Adeline because I used to love to come over to the house, and she always made buns, and she was always, you know, making dough. And it was real important for me to steal the dough and eat it. And as you can tell, I still love to steal dough and eat it. And they've been very good to me. They've been extremely good to me. And I really appreciate it. And I do remember when Stevie was born. And it always bothered me because Adeline had such long fingernails. And I was always afraid she was going to scratch them. And yeah, but she convinced me that it was okay. She wasn't going to. But indefensively, this is what's important, because I really love Lee. I understand. I too was the one that was picked on a lot in the family. And so, Lee, I have my heart really, you know, I have compassion and total understanding. I know, and you know, and I've been talking to him. He's such a great person. I just love Lee, you know, he's wonderful. Look what he did with these little girls. Isn't that great? I mean, you know, what a daddy. And his wonderful wife, Linda, I really like her. And so, you know, all in all, I mean, Lee's just, I know the whole story. I mean, I can remember when Lee was a little boy and chasing after him. Woo! And I can remember one time when they came down to Colorado and Mom and Dad were looking after the kids when Adeline and Lyman went out someplace. And little Lee was, you know, just kind of acting up. And his grandpa took him and took him over his knee and gave him 2 big swats, and Lee just looked, and he was good all night the rest of the night. But I understand Lee, so I think we made it.
And I bet he didn't cry. No. Anybody else? Well, if not, Lyman and I are going to do something that hasn't happened in 50 years. We're going to try to sing a duet, so.
Tell us, it was a request.
This was a request from Lyman. Or actually, we're sitting around the table and Adeline says, oh, wouldn't it be special if you and Dad sang a duet? And I said, yeah, right, Mom. This is Lyman, I'm Steve. We're in 2 different leagues, 2 different worlds. We do not belong in the same microphone. I just blew her off, and later on I went to Dad and I said, well, I don't know, Dad, what do you think? And he said, I think we should do it. Okay. I said, well, what song do you want to sing? And he said, well, this is about sweethearts, he said. This is about the loves of our lives. We're never going to do it. But we'll try. Let me call you sweetheart.
Dedicated to going sweetheart.
And all here, some darkness too.
We'll have music, but we're going to wait for a while till we hit that button until we get to
Okay.
Ready, Bob?
Yeah.
Bifocals working?
Yeah.
Mine too.
I am dreaming, dear, of you, day by day. Dreaming when the skies are blue, when they're gray, when the silvery moonlight gleams, silver gleaming on my dreams. The land of love that seems just before you.
This is something.
Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so true. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so blue. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you.
And it's from the heart. Adeline, come forward, Adeline. You're not singing. Don't get hyper. Lyman wanted you up here as he said a few words before we go down.
Yes, not my turn. You know, Adeline and I, when we go to church Sunday morning, we put the tape on, and Dave Schuler's Hour of Power. And he always opens up and says, wow. You know, that's the way I feel, just wow. This is a day God has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Amen. Now the speech, Harold. And I got to read this because I'm not very good at making up as I go. First of all, we would like to thank God for this opportunity to be here in our hometown, at our home church. Where it all began. Some 50 years ago with family and friends. And most of all, I want to recognize the VIP in our family, the love of my life, mother of our children, my best friend.
I don't know, never seen so much emoting from Norwegians in all my life. Pastor Dave, would you come and lead us in the benediction before we go down for the...
We'll have a word of prayer, and I'll include a blessing for the food so that we can go down there. And as soon as I'm done, don't make a dash for the door. There are a few other announcements yet to be made, a few other instructions to be given. Congratulations, Lyman and Adeline, on 50 years. 1 week in my marriage, I thought it was 50 years too, but I've only made it 23 years, so congratulations. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for wonderful living examples you've given us of covenant love, of the long-term commitment to love to each other and to you. Thank you that we can get together to celebrate covenant love and the kind of love that you have for us and that we see demonstrated in our midst through others. Thank you for this. Thank you for the food that has been prepared for us. We ask that you would be with us in our conversation and that you would season our speech with your grace and your peace. In Jesus' name, amen.
At this time then, I would ask that the wedding party go down and prepare for the dinner before the rest of us come on. So if you want me to sing Here Goes the Bride or anything like that.
And I worked together with 50 Goals for years. He's in Billings and I was in Great Falls. Yeah. We were kind of the guys that really got along well. He's an old
Stick around so we can visit a little bit with you.
Oh yeah. I'm just going back to Toby tonight. Yeah.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah.
That's not.
I like your camcorder. I've got one of these ones that I bought.
All day eat-a-thon. Whenever you go to Power.
You ain't get paid.
Amy.
Watch the camera in the corner and see the colors go. See, look, his color is really good. Susie's. He's close. Hey, just seems to have good rations. Ready to get here, ready to get home. Wife calls and she's got the broomstick.
Just in case. You want to go be next week?
I just figured I'd bring the cows up to you and you take care of them for me.
Well, for a share, yeah. For a share, I'll take share.
Now you started lying.
75, 25. I'll sell you hay.
I got instructed, I have to do that. This way at least you get them out.
When I went to Adelaide to kiss Lyman, and then she took a napkin away from his mouth.
something on it.
Say something.
To Dwight.
Pardon me?
To Dwight.
Dwight?
Yeah.
Hi, Dwight. Thank you for everything. No, we'd love your help.
Grandma.
Are you taking off? No.
I think we need a kiss on the camera.
You didn't get it?
No.
You just need to wipe his mouth. Haven't you ever seen me kiss Grandpa before?
Not really. Oh dear. I'm getting nervous.
That's a good one. Boy, that was wet.
I just decided to get maybe do yeah. Here's this picture over there. Not yet. Not yet. Are you taking? Oh, bad news. Oh, I'm just taking it of everybody. We're on camera. That's my dad right there. Yep, he almost is too big to fit on the screen. Good old Norm. Woo!
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. Otherwise, someone's going to see our video.
Yep, see you later, cousin. Yeah, well, I'm pretty bored right now. Oh, Janice.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's saying goodbye. I'm getting it on camera. I don't want to get in there. You're having fun? I have nothing else to do right now. Wait, Gabe said take pictures. I got your shirt on there real good.
That's good. That's the important part.
I'm gonna get Dwight here drinking. Yep, this is all I have now. Close up of Dwight. Oh, that's a cute one.
Oh no. Dwight traded.
Don't ask me what I'm doing. I don't really know.
Yeah, you were talking. Yeah, she knows all about it. How come I'm getting all the go get it?
So Avery, are you being antisocial or what?
He's sick of them. He's gonna just peek out of the doorway.
Go and look.
It's so true.
I want to meet
See, you know, he is single, probably. You two could go around, hang out together and find somebody, huh?
Away from me, please. Take a picture of Dwight. He deserves it.
He wouldn't want to hang around with me because he wouldn't learn nothing about how to find a wife.
Oh, I don't know. I hear you found one.
You gotta hang around with
My Norman is too long.
That's not very exciting to watch.
This one is before
Show us what you got.
Hold it.
Beautiful, just like mine.
For the camera.
Okay, turn around.
What's it called, Jerry?
Hey, and hold it again.
I can't.
Yeah, you can, Avery. You're tough.
This is agate.
What kind of camera is that?
Oh,
Is it?
wow.
Is it this?
Right there?
Oh,
It's taping right now. If you want to stop taping, just hit that red
Hit the
button.
red button.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's just taping, but when
Dwight,
do
did you hear Mark
when do you
said?
want to,
Heidi says when she grows up, she's going to get one like that. And I said,
Dwight,
well,
how
when
do you
we all
make a
marry
still-
Dwight, we can use his.
Dwight, how do you make a still picture?
I just took somebody's.
Hit
on
the
the
red
floor.
button to stop it.
Okay, Dwight's looking at Joni. That's not fair.
Oh.
Well,
Straighten up.
You're not even leaving. I was watching Faye cry.
And Faye was crying last night because she cries so easy. She was crying because she cries easy.
That wasn't it.
Well, that's it.
I was talking about Jonelle.
We'll come back.
I was talking about Jonelle, and she was going through her house, her mother's home.
That's why you cried. You have to have a good reason, right?
Yeah.
Just
Just
because.
because.
It's okay.
Right.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Okay, Dwight, we'll
If I
see
had
you
Phil
again.
left- Whoever brought grills. There was something in
Hey, Margaret. 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 Hi.
Dwight, are you taking video? We're ready. Take a list. Mother says for us to group together, and she goes and stands over there. They were younger and cuter.
Oh man. Get that out of here. Yeah.
What?
Has he been recording us?
The Holman boys.
You get a picture? That's already.
Okay.
This is a nice bouquet you have there.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you moving? Hi, Susie. Yeah. Taping right now. But it's got, there's another viewfinder here, but I like looking through it there. Well, this is recording now, so be careful what you say. That'll work. I better go up and take some.
1, 2, 3, smile.
You gonna sell these?
Yes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Says he's a little taller.
That's fine.
Yes.
You're not the tallest mother I've seen. Is that face? That might be face. There's so many cameras. Maybe we should put our name on the bag or something. I've seen her. Okay, that's Else. And who's with Else?
That's Weston, my other half brother, and his wife Becky.
My friend in Great Falls was going. I had never seen one before.
It's real cool. And it's got a still camera on it too, so you can take and put pictures on the computer.
Yeah. Simon, get over here so we can
And his boy will come back and farm because his wife, they both have jobs with the government. They are coming back.
I do have a question. What is the secret to good barbecue?
An excellent grill that heats evenly throughout. I think I have one little spot to heat here tonight.
Pat, Denise, Marcy?
We're trying to sort out the relationship here to find out who's who. That's close enough.
Why's he going to get the mic out?
He wants to get the ring out.
Say hi. Say hi.
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 Don't look at me.
You know what Margaret said? She's a little forward than the last time I saw you. And your name is
There's somebody else I know.
I'm getting you on TV.
Oh, okay. Oh, you.
You've been naughty.
Am I what?
Wave at me.
Well, there's a man.
Did she just sit over there? Oh, look, there's
Depends on
yeah, I'll just take spot.
Yeah.
Dwight, you gotta go somewhere else.
Just leave.
Hey, look at that!
Not bragging on him, still getting on there.
That's right.
He must have been out golfing.
No, I've been out in the sun today and I can't take the sun. No, it's,
I saw it, must be wrong.
what I'm going to do is it kind of limits my
We're doing good. Like this, Zoe. Like this. Steve? Yes?
That's it.
Okay.
You got it down.
I can do it. What did you kind of?
I went down to 3 because only the middle has heat.
Did you draw straws here? Do you see who got? What's that? Ken?
That's Paulette's daughter. And this one here must be Linda. What? Yeah, one here. She has a son here. What a small.
Oh yeah, it is. Isn't that?
Only one I would know. And I don't think she's originally from that.
What do you recommend for stereos?
We're going to take some pictures.
Over there by the table, Oh, yeah.
Nice lady.
I see
That's the point I was getting at.
You told me.
You introduced me to that. Yeah, that's what he says.
We're getting in line here with everybody else. JBC!
There he is. Somebody to replace his.
Yes.
I think they had somebody lawsuits.
We're going to take turns.
Okay.
Yeah. You only have to look out for one camera at a time.
You're not coming at like full angle type of thing.
I asked Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'll just tell you guys to turn it out a little bit. That way you won't.
So now I gotta ask
you. Is the race on, Steve?
Well, this is a challenging field. Everybody eats my stuff. Don't know how to pick a piece of chicken.
It's already been down to the lake. No, down to where the cabins are. And I said, well, Jimmy, good thing I was here. Must have been this poor guy. That's right. And Lyman had said that the premonition that I should.
That's what he says too. He grew up there.
Quite right.
Should be that style too.
You know, I'd much rather have a half a piece.
Pretty soon you'll hear Archie has left the park. It'll be okay. Thank you.
When it comes to
This is the tree that we're and he's studying.
I love it.
Really?
You woke Jeremy up this morning, huh?
Yeah. Nobody has any business sleeping at noon anyway. I don't understand.
We'll keep you up till 6:30.
Just because, now, this is your fault. It's not mine. I mean,
What a show.
Yeah.
Want to dance? Or me to dance for you, or what?
No, I mean, you walked right into it.
That was pretty cool. Thanks, Dwight. Appreciate that. I'm going to go back now.
Where are you sitting? I'll be right over.
Yeah, right over here.
Hi.
So little. Yeah.
everything was just every other year. He's over the corner.
I think I make it each time at least. And a doctor. I know. I hate it. I took drugs last time. But my mistake was he told us we were up in the air and he said, we're going to be hitting turbulence in about an hour. Do I need to know this? In an hour?
Can't be walking around, Sue. Hey, Sue, can't be walking around.
I don't go to the bathroom.
You be in somebody's lap and spill their drink and the
It's
old
like, if it's
bamboos.
God's will, it's God's will, but still. So I took drugs. Well, when he said that we're going to hit turbulence, they didn't hit till we landed. I was out for like 6 hours. I can't wake up. He's got to go up. Oh, I hate it. I have to go visit my children. So I have to do it.
Still got that one?
The one in the other. Is that a... Yeah. You don't have that one? What happened?
Try it. Smile.
No, not just They got lives on
All right. Okay. That's it?
Yeah, well, thank you for coming.
Uh-oh.
Life is now complete. You got your ringer.
Powers Lake Championship. JD's the commentary. Yep.
Hey! Had a cow. Who was in the way?
Wow.
You been practicing lunch hour?
Yeah. Every Wednesday at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
You might even witness a murder here on camera.
Rang the clang bell. Yeah, just about one. Just one more.
We're at 20.
One more is all you need.
Then we take on who?
I don't know.
You and Vaughn still?
Don't know.
Oh, that could have done it.
Oh, bad flip. There. Oh.
So if they need to get Archie, you're not in that generation.
Amy.
Get out of there. Sorry, I tried.
We need to get closer together.
Is this all there are?
Well, we have the little girls. They went from the same school.
Oh, and Paulette, too.
Well, that's in my generation.
Oh, yeah.
Asha, you mean?
That's right, Asha. That's what I meant.
Are we ready? Get a little bit tighter, guys. You need a little tighter.
Maya.
Jill is kind of in the shadows.
Take some picture now, they're smiling.
Just count to 3 and everybody snap at the same time so I don't have to snap for hours.
Oh, you love it. What are you talking about?
Hey, come on, no one's doing it. We might have to do that again.
We have to wait for the little girls to get here now. Are they here?
We can regroup.
Old people.
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah?
What generation are you in? The older or the younger?
I'm in the younger. I'm just at the line. Go ahead, Jen.
Jerry.
Yes.
I think someone weak. I don't know.
No.
Knock it off.
Dwight wants some nice pictures of you. See? Ow.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Hold it. Inez, is there supposed to be those squares around? Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get.
Robbie, is it Archie that's
I think it's out of film now. Is that the one now? Okay.
Archie's got his clothes out.
Hey, Pat. Take your hat off. I got to I gotta get the ear in there.
You can say hi here too.
Hi. Ow! I can't see partial. Still might be shadowy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, can we round them up? We need the little cousins. Like Denise.
How are you doing?
Come on over here. You're the little cousin. Okay, little girl. Little girl. Picture. Oh yeah.
Go back.
You and your wife.
Ashley, you gotta get in here too. Yep.
Right here.
Where's yours? I gave it to you.
I got it.
You for free. One's not open.
Isn't it?
Okay.
On. It's on the back plate.
Now, are you going to be able to copy this on tape?
Can you do it on the video?
Can I send some money?
Okay. Wait.
Come on, boy.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
Gee, there's so many shorts compared to the rest of us.
You want two pictures?
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
Look, you have them at this one.
Is not. What here? I got half of Archie and half of Steve. You're a good sport. Okay. All right. Done.
I wish I could.
on an airplane. And every stewardess on the airplane needs long distance calls. I give them tips to people sitting around me. I say, would you like to save 50 to 70% of your phone? I do these businesses. I give. I think it's fun. Now, I have other businesses, right? Now, couldn't you do that? A little extra income. It's residual money that comes in every couple weeks. Doesn't matter if they're big checks or little checks. They're checks.
Hey.
Everybody wants a check.
Well, you just said a magic word there. So few, such a small percentage of anybody, any population in the world can experience the magic of residual income, that whole thing
That's
of
right.
passive income,
That's
automatic income, where you've done your work, what little work this is, and there's money coming in your mailbox, and you're kind of not necessarily doing anything
That's
at that
right.
moment.
It's fun. These are fun things, but they're just little extra ways to make money. Jim, a lady called me, an elderly lady called me up, and she was on retirement. And she wanted to make a little extra money to supplement her retirement. And she called me in the office. She said, Dave, how many of these phone cards can I get? And I said, well, you can get as many as you want. And she says, well, can we put the logo of somebody's logo, a corporation on it? And I said, of course you can. And she says, well, I made a telephone call to a radio station. They'd like to order some cars. I said, how many? She says, well, they want 80,000.
80,000?
80,000. I said, 80,000? And she says, yeah, how can I get them? Well, that was a little shocking. So, you know, you never know what you're going to run into. See, the radio station can give these away over the air, put their logo on it, write it off their taxes because they're advertising their business. I had another lady with 2 little daughters came and talked to me, and she said, Dave, I really like this opportunity because I can make a little extra money. And I asked her, I said, what are you going to do with the money, the extra money? She was only looking to make a couple $100 every few weeks. And she says, Dave, would you believe my husband works in the military. I go from paycheck to paycheck. We don't have hardly any money left over, and my daughters love to go to the movies. We don't have enough money to do that. And she said, the first check I get, I'm going to take my daughters to the movies, and to the matinee. And I thought to myself, what a great opportunity, even for her to be able to do that. That makes this business wonderful.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for being on the show.
Nice to be here.
Fabulous concept. A business in your pocket. Folks, remember this. Alone, each one of his businesses has sold for more than what Dave is asking for his entire system. And through a special arrangement with Dave, we can offer you his Moneymaker system at a substantial savings. So, if you're interested in more information about ordering the Dave Deldato Moneymaker system and would like to have a business in your pocket, then call the toll-free number you see on your screen. Until next time, I'm Jim Caldwell, wishing you great success, and I hope to see you on our next edition of Direct Talk.
To order online, dial choicemall.com. To the most exciting site on the internet, America's Choice Mall.
Do you have a product that could be sold on television? Call the direct marketing professionals from Guthrie Renker at 1-800-932-8515. Let us be your connection to television shopping.
The preceding has been a paid advertisement for Dave Deldato's Moneymaker system.
You are now entering the Party Zone, a new 36-song collection of today's hottest dance tracks.
Baby, let me show you how to do this. You gotta move this. Don't turn around. Jojo, come and sauce and tell. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody want the dinosaur. Oh, Sheila, let me love you till the morning comes. I'm looking for a new love, baby.
This awesome collection is not sold in stores, so order now. Call toll-free now for the Party Zone. Cassettes $19.98, CDs $26.98. Call now.
The following is a paid presentation for the H Plus Beauty System by Ashley of Beverly Hills. Welcome to Beverly Hills, known to millions as the world capital of fashion, glamour, health, and beauty. Join us as feature film and television actress Kathy Lee Crosby and world-renowned skincare scientist Dr. Walter Smith bring to you the secret of timeless beauty.
People told me that I looked good, but they didn't know why, but I knew why.
That fine lines, particularly around the eyes and around the mouth, really disappear.
And I ran into this guy that I haven't seen for like 8 years. And he goes, God, everybody else is getting older.